And welcome back, guys. This is the Sunday Dose. You guys see some crazy shit on the screen right now. You guys see no cams. What's going on here? Why isn't there cams, guys? Because we're not doing them right now, guys. Sorry. We're the worst people in the world. We know. Get over it. No. Welcome to the Sunday Dose, guys. This is Obi1X2, and with me today, of course, Beastmans and Oddie Guy. What's up, guys?
I'm shoving my face with food, but hello.
I got the sniffles, so I sound funny probably.
Oh no. You guys can see that we have a little bit of a change on the overlay here. Basically, and I'm trying to fix some stuff because I'm screwed up already. But basically, we're doing a roundtable discussion, moving into, basically just having as many people as we are on the call as we possibly can, and just having fun with it, having a good time, having, like I said, just having fun. So, joining us today for our part of our roundtable today is Yogizilla. So, what's up, dude? You guys all know him. What's up, Yogi?
Yo, what is up? I got a pizza on the way.
Yogi's
You're
really
share?
yeah. Yogi's really happy today because he actually's got the house to himself.
Yeah,
dude. Till like Tuesday. Like, damn.
People that are not old or don't have large families or kids at all don't understand. Like, when you're young, you're all about going out and partying, going to clubs. When you're old, the thing you look forward to the most is probably staying home and taking a massive dump and having no one interrupt you.
Shitting with the door open, man. Shitting
With the door opening. Exactly.
With the door
you guys
open.
get it.
Gotta have the door open when you do that.
I do that now. Fuck the rest of the people in my house.
It's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm stinking their asses out now. All right, chat's back, so you guys can blow chat up. Now, the only thing we do have on the overlay, this is still the place to be if you guys want to be live. For those that are listening on the podcast, yeah, you guys don't have no change whatsoever anyway. So, but welcome, guys. This is episode 37. Today is March 15th. I know this, I should have done this earlier, but March 15th, 2015, and this is the Sunday Dose. Welcome to those in chat already. Of course, Beater and Hat. What's up, buddy? How you doing? A quiet house. What's that like? BFT's always here, so welcome, dude. And this show is going to be about a lot about the competitive gaming scene. Not just CS:GO, not just Counter-Strike, not just League of Legends, not just Dota 2. That's another one we forgot to put up there. But all of them, guys, all of them as a whole. We're gonna get into a little bit of the pro players. I actually got to talk with one this week and asked him to be on the show because it would have been fucking awesome. But he goes, I couldn't. He had something he was doing, getting ready for another tournament. But how they're like. So you guys want to talk about, we're kind of, beginning of the show. How have your guys' weeks? I want to say week, but week's been. We've had 2 weeks off. How you guys doing?
Who's starting?
Beastman's always starts.
I'm still shoveling my face with food, but I'm doing real good.
He's just shoving it in.
Let's see. My weeks have been good, relaxing. I got Dragon Ball Xenoverse. I'll give a little review on that later. And yeah, just been hanging the fuck out. You know how it goes. Been busy.
I think somebody's vacuuming in the background.
We don't. That's why I'm muting my mic when I'm not talking, dude.
I was like, dude, he's got like a whole party going on at his house, dude. But yeah, dude.
I still came to do the show.
Literally, the party ended a half hour ago.
Yeah, right. And Yogi, since we haven't seen you in months, what's going on with you, buddy?
Good, man. Like I said, I'm getting used to. We were talking about this on Horseplay this past Thursday. I'm getting used to the new work schedule and new gigs and things on the horizon. And I'm not, I'm a pretty social person, but I also like my privacy. So it's like a weird dichotomy. So like like one of the things that I find most deflating is when I'm like playing phone tag and following up the emails just so like I could get the bills paid. Like it's a lot of that kind of crap. Like people dicking around. It's like, okay, that sounds good, but I need to talk to so and so. They're the decision maker and this kind of thing. Oh, blah blah blah. It's like I don't care who has to make the decision. Just make sure that paycheck's in the mail.
Right.
There's like a lot of that stuff, but things are coming along. And I appreciate everybody that's been, advocating, and I know you've been streaming and getting the word out on my charity stream and everything. It's just been, it's feast and famine with what I do. So hopefully, come April, May, things will be completely turned around, and we'll start getting a nest egg going again, and just be able to breathe easily. But it's
Definitely.
like that. The tension of just being in that survival mode is not fun. Like I have so many more gray hairs in my beard.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. And for those that are like, what's he talking about? If you guys have been watching my stream lately, for the next month, for the month of, what month is this? March. We're gonna be streaming every time we stream, which is probably 5 to 6 days a week right now, which is really good. You guys can see the bit.ly link on my channel and everything, but if you guys do want to help Yogi out, it's the Yogi Fund. It's one of the gang members. He is the top gang member, just because of the geekantics.net. So he runs all that, guys, and you guys got to remember too that a lot of that, 99% of that, comes out of pocket. So, well, not really anymore, but he's still up there in the 90 percentile that comes out of pocket. So we want to help him out as much as possible. If you guys do want to donate to him, bit.ly/helpyogi. And like I said, guys, just a little something that I really can't give a lot of money to him or dump him with $1,000. But if I can put his link up on my stream every day, that's what I want to do. So,
yeah, bro.
But Adi guy Yogi, he says, Yogi, I work night shift this week, and I can walk around naked after work. Hype.
That is
moment.
liberating.
Hype
Now,
moment.
you could do that when you probably get away with that if you have all boys, but then when you have girls and they're walking around, it's a little awkward. So,
Yeah, dude, I got a 5-year-old little girl.
Not to beast man's.
Like I don't feel like I should be walking around naked in front of my daughter. Real talk.
Yeah, that's a little that's a hard thing to explain. It's like, wait, I don't have one of those. Like, oh, we have this conversation now. Ugh.
Daddy, there's something wrong with your front butt.
Your front butt.
That's what she calls it, man.
Oh, that's sweet. I love that when they're still innocent. Then when they learn too much, it's like, what happened? Can we just turn back time? But I want to say real quick, Obi, I always talk about this. Like, I have a real pet peeve with, like, everybody should be able to make money doing the things they love, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a delicate balance you got to strike. Like, don't be greedy. And it kind of bothers me when I see people that, like, they live at home with mommy and daddy, and they're, like, getting donations, massive donations for frivolous things, like going to Paris or getting a $3,000 gaming computer or getting an $800 gaming chair and all this kind of, or gaming shades. Like, I want to make sure people know I'm not doing any kind of frivolous spending. This pizza and the beer and 2 beers in my fridge is about as frivolous as it gets. And someone actually stipulated, use this only for that.
Yeah, right. Right.
You know?
No, and I've known Yogi for a while. We've been doing horseplay for over a year and a half now, and I've known him for about 2 years total, and he's just not that kind of guy. He's got a decent sized family, him and his wife, and then family troubles and complications have come up, and he's just trying to hold it together. So it's not nothing about he's gonna go, he's actually just saving up to buy a brand new car. No, he's not. Trust me. I know this guy. He's not doing it. He's trying to keep his family in their house. So, but yeah, anyway, guys, we're going to hello, boys. Fifi Law, welcome to the show. We're going to make a hell out of it. We were supposed to have Fatal Blades on here, but we lost communication. So, everybody tweet at Fatal_Blades and just tell him, where the fuck are you? That's what we want you to do right now. So, tweet that guy, tweet it out, ask him where the fuck he's at, and he's not here, so he's like, hey, I don't even really want to do it. I don't even like you, Yogi. No, just playing. See, I said Yogi there. Anyway, we're gonna get into it, guys. Now, I really didn't research a lot of news, okay? Because for the last several weeks, we've had like nothing but news and nothing that we talk about news for 90% of the show. So we got just one piece of news, guys, and then we're gonna get into the feature, which is the competitive gaming scene. The news it is about the competitive gaming scene, if you guys want to put it out there. In LA, if you guys do go to this link, make sure you mute the sound right away because it'll start playing. It's on autoplay, so you gotta turn that off. But the competitive world of esports is what we're going for. We're gonna put this link in chat for you guys so you guys can check it out as well. But ABC News was all big and bad in Anaheim, California. About 5,500 excited fans cheered and gasped watching a giant screen of two players now. Two players. This is StarCraft, if you guys don't know that, for the World Championship in the video game StarCraft 2. It's like the Super Bowl for us. And for those that are gaming, and I want your guys' opinion on this right here, is a big world championship of anything, of your game of choice. Is that compared to, and we'll start with Beast, is that compared to the Super Bowl for gamers?
10 years ago, I would have said yes.
Then what would you compare it to as now then?
Now, an event. Like a free outdoor concert.
Okay. You have reasons for that?
Oh, just that's my personal preference. I don't care for him. That scene to me died a long time ago.
Right. For those that don't know now, Beast was in the competitive gaming scene for a while. Doing very good. What games were they?
Call of Duty 4.
Call of Duty.
Just Call of Duty 4 on the PC.
Well, if you guys know anything about Call of Duty and the competitive gaming scene, we're going to talk about this here in a little bit. It's very, very rash. It's very harsh. Things that you do, no matter who you are, it's just people hate you for it. But anyway, we'll get into that in a few minutes. Adi, what about you, man?
Sorry, I just stepped back. I had baby aggro. What did I miss?
Well, we're talking about the competitive world esports. Now, it's stated on right here on the CB News site in Anaheim, California, where they were talking about the StarCraft 2 video game was like a Super Bowl for gamers or for geeks or for that game of your choice. So if you have a game that you watch, I know you don't watch a lot of competitive esports because you're like Beast and you're just like whatever. But if you had a choice to where your game was a competitive esport, would it be something as like a Super Bowl for you, like the biggest game of the year, the biggest event of the year?
You know what? I've never, like, I mean, I used to play League and all that a lot, and they would have their fucking World Series or whatever the fuck they call it. Never interested me.
No.
Not. I don't think I've watched a single. I tried to watch one stream, and I was like, all this is making me doing is want to play the game. Now I can understand where people get that into it and they want to.
Mm-hmm.
But a game like StarCraft, I don't understand how you could watch that and have that be like the Super Bowl. Because I mean,
Well, and it's not just, and this is just the news that where the news came from. But I'm talking like if, like you were, what game is your choice? League, you said?
that was my game of choice that was
Okay,
competitive.
back then, okay, and then we'll
Okay.
go back then and then now. We'll say, was League of Legends, when Worlds were happening, were you like all hyped up for it? You wanted to see who's going to win, and then you wanted to get right on the server and start playing?
No, you know what I was hyped up about when the Worlds came around? New summoner icons.
That's true.
That's
You're
what
like,
I
dude,
wanted.
in like 3 weeks, we're going to have new summer. I got gold now, bitches. What the fuck?
Dude, new summoner icons. They came out with some cool. Whoever won, they got the design. Their custom skins, and you could get those, and they were some pretty good ones. Like I got what was it? TPA Ezreal, I think. No, I didn't get Ezreal. I got TPA Lee Sin,
Mm-hmm.
and they just come out with some cool little stuff that made it worth it happening for me. The games themselves, I didn't give a shit about. I cared about what happened after the season was over, and I got my shit.
Right. Yogi, what about you?
It's interesting. StarCraft is one of the first games that really pushed the competitive gaming forward, and it's neat that it's reaching that mainstream. But if you're not into that kind of game, I don't think it's fun to watch. And to me, that's a big part of competitive gaming.
guys
Is
are
what's
missing-
fun
you
as
guys
a
are-
spectator sport.
You guys are missing the whole point of this question. It doesn't have to be. It's not just because it's StarCraft news. I'm talking about the game of your choice.
I understand what you're saying.
Like
but
Yogi, your game of your choice would be Magic 2. You know,
it'd
Magic.
be any kind of card game. Yeah, that'd be more my kind of thing to watch. That's what excites me. Yeah, like I like things where I don't want to sound terrible, but it's more about skill rather than time spent in the game, because those are not always they don't always go hand in hand. I like a game where there's a good chance that a newcomer could come in and give older player a run for their money. That to me, that's more fun to watch and also more fun to compete in. Like something like Speedrunners would be a fun game for me to watch competitively played, because it's a more competitive game. When you have a game where there's a huge skill gaps, for me it's less fun. Now League of Legends might be an example of a little bit of column A and column B. And I think that's the reason that's become so popular, because even people that are on the outside looking in and don't really play League of Legends, aren't really into MOBAs, can find that fun because it's action oriented, right? Same thing with FPS kind of games, shooters. Those are something that's easy to follow along with. You know what's going on. Someone got shot in the head. Ha ha ha. That's funny. So I know. Yeah, that's not
that's
really
the
exactly
worst
what you
thing
asked.
you've ever said.
Why's that?
Wow.
Somebody got shot in the head. Ha ha ha. That's funny.
Yeah, in a video game. That's
There we
funny,
go,
right?
taking shit out of
No.
context
No,
already.
I just want to take that, quote from Yogizilla. Somebody got shot in the head. Ha ha ha. That's funny.
Take it out of context
And,
already. Okay.
Exactly. and I'm gonna email that to Fox News and they'll run with it.
Yogi, you're gonna be getting some money soon. A lot of criticism, but some money soon. 'Cause they're gonna write your book. You're gonna have your personal biography published just because of this right here.
But it's true though, it's actually funny Adi mentioned that, because our culture embraces crime porn and murder porn, but then there's still a taboo about things that are over sexualized. You know what I mean? Like a game can be rated teen. It can have decapitation and freaking teabagging built into the game, over corpses. But then the moment there's like side boob, it's like, we might have to pull this off the market, or at least rate it MA or something. You know what I mean?
Can we talk a minute about side boob versus under boob?
Nope,
Which boob
not yet.
do you prefer?
Not yet.
Underboob.
That's a good point.
Damn it.
Underboob all the way.
I'm sorry, Opie. I'm derailing you. I'm sorry. It's my
No.
fault.
There is no. You can't derail on this show anymore. Okay, that's what I'm gonna get to you guys right now. You guys can't. There's the team speaking chat. I do want to say what's up to everybody in chat. The new people that's come in. Of course, Dexter, welcome, dude. Beard and Hat. I've already said you, but you guys are chat's blowing up right now. So, sex is bad. Violence is good. That's what we're gonna talk about. Beard and Hat just said it. So,
Yep.
While I'm saying what I'm going to say about this little topic, if anybody does want to join us, come in TeamSpeak right now. We'll pull you into the channel. Just try to have your mic and earphones. And if you're going to have background, please have the decency to mute your mic. Thank you. But what I'm thinking about this, and this is what I kind of thought about when I read this. I'm not a StarCraft player either. It's whatever. But if I had the point of watching a competitive match, and I just watched one with CSGO. You guys know I'm a CSGO player, and I'm trying to rank up. I'm silver 4 now. Then we're gonna have fun. So come join my channel. Obi-Wan X2. Anyway, yeah, shameless plug.
Don't forget, shameless plug. Ding.
Yes, exactly. But if I have a chance to watch now League of Legends, yes, I still watch League of Legends. I watch just the regular leagues, the daily leagues. I already know what the game's all about. I already know probably who's gonna win. I know how they're gonna win. I know how the team's gonna set up. It's all the same thing. But when there was talked about earlier with Yogi, the skill gap. Wow. You got to think about too, is the skill cap or the skill gap. There is not one in the competitive scene because they're getting the best game. They're getting the best teams of each of the sports. Counter-Strike, okay? NIP, Virtus Pro, we got C9, we got TSM from Germany, TSM. You know, all these teams are actually of the same skill group, okay? Yes, now, like we seen yesterday, or today even, I swear to God, Fnatic was going to take it. Or not Fnatic, but NIP was going to take it. But it's just, they had a rough couple rounds. That's a game that, you know, goes by rounds and whatnot, but League of Legends the same way. Any team, any one of those teams can, you know, pull out a new strat, can pull out something that they've been working on and catch the other team off guard, because when you're at that skill cap, you're at that skill level where you're the world's best, you have to do things like that to catch people off guard. If you don't catch them off guard, then it's going to be the same boring run out. And you know, a lot of the pros know, well, if I let the guy do this and just farm up top and not do anything, for one, he's going to get all the CS he wants, and then he's going to have his teleport to teleport anywhere. So I want to make sure I don't use my teleport. You know, you're thinking. You know, that's what I'm trying to get to everybody, and I want to ask everybody what. Now that I've said something, what do you guys think? Is it still the same opinions?
Is that being tabled to everyone?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead. Yo.
No, I think you have very good points. Because and I think part of that also is the fact that certain games have a constantly shifting meta, and other ones not so much. Like in the first-person shooter, I don't think there's so much a shifting meta as there is fine-tuning, honing of the basics. You know. Just getting better and better with the mundane stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
The main thing that changes in FPS is our nerfing and de-nerfing of weapons.
Yeah.
About it, the mechanics primarily stay the same.
Right. Well, mechanics thing, that's where, like we said, you know, like I think we were talking about last time we were playing, I don't remember, I think it was CSGO, and it was a while ago. That you really can't, once you get your aiming down, you really can't do anything unless you do some crazy strats. Like strats that people are like, they're never going to do this shit. like a full-on rush mid. You know, when you know that they have oppers. Why? You know, just the
CSGO,
crazy.
Aiming is only about 30% of that game. I mean, the rest of that comes to strategy and teamwork, you know? Yeah. Actually, how you work the system and, you know, playing off of how the other team plays and making constant adjustments to properly meet your goal, whether it's planting at the bomb site or defending the bomb sites.
Well, taking and retaking, and that's why I think aiming is a little bit more than 30%, because if a son of a bitch can't aim, he can have all the strats in the world, but if you can't aim, you're fucked.
Yeah, but if a son of a bitch can aim and doesn't know what to do, or, you know, the team just constantly is, you know, doing their own things, you ain't doing shit.
That depends. I've had a couple, I mean, you've had games like this too, I know. But where somebody comes in and says, hey, I'm doing this, this, and this, that's all I'm doing. They're not listening to you, they're not doing anything, but they can aim for, they're top fragging. And you win the game. I mean, but there's also instances where people do that and you just lose miserably because you're retarded.
Me?
Yes.
Listen, I'm just saying, I can top frag.
That first part sounded an awful lot like me.
Listen,
it was you.
I can top frag doing my own damn thing with a sawed off. That doesn't mean I gotta aim. It means I got a sawed off and I know where to be.
Well, that just comes from time playing the game, knowing where you can just sit there and peek and they're not gonna fucking look because they're silvers. Try that shit you're doing in gold. I dare you. You're gonna die.
I do.
It'll
not you. I'm not talking about you.
No, a lot of the shit, a lot of the places that you can go, it'll still work because you'll see them before they see you, even if they do know where to check. You know
in some
I mean?
spots, but I'm talking about. All right, I'm not even. We can go around.
No,
we can
but that's aside the point. But back to the. How the fuck do you enjoy watching StarCraft? Anybody here who enjoys watching StarCraft, I want to know why.
In all honesty, I could see myself watching StarCraft.
Yeah.
I don't, but I understand the appeal of it.
You know where I fail
because
to
there
see the
isn't
appeal?
a meta in StarCraft. Every player plays different.
But everything,
which is why you're learning strategy every time you watch a game.
I understand to an extent, but at the same time, everything comes down to micromanaging in that, right? Being able to do this, and this
Mm-hmm.
quicker than the other person can do that, and that,
Yeah.
right?
Well, you think about
Which,
it.
which, if you think about it, sounds pretty cool, but you can only see like what one person's doing. If you go a move to see what's happening at another person's base, then go back to the base that you were just watching, you don't know what the fuck just happened. How the hell did they get there? You know?
Right.
Yeah, the
So,
replay system is bad, but when you actually watch a dual gameplay of it,
no.
Well, this is what I get out of StarCraft. Okay, I do watch it. I'm not gonna lie. But only when there's big tournaments.
But I
uh,
enjoy playing the game. I just
I've never played the game. That's the thing.
it's very fun.
Um,
It's a very fun game.
I don't like the game.
It
Rush all day,
intrigues
every
me
day.
enough to the one reason why I do want to get the game and actually play it is because, like, I watch these guys and like Adi said, guys do this, and this faster than the other guy can do this, and this. That's a prediction on what they think is going to happen, though. Okay, a lot of the top player, in the world right now that won this past tournament, and in Cali, he basically sent out a drone. I mean, like a couple minutes earlier than the other player thought that he was going to send it out, and they basically caught him out building some crazy shit in the darkness somewhere off to the side, and he caught that, built what he needed to build to defend, and when that guy came in, he already knew about it, so then he could go around to the top side or through the middle, or don't ask me to say what's going on in the game, but with his guys or with his guys to hit him from a different spot. That's just it. A lot of it is about predictions and sticking to your game plan. Don't change up your game plan just because you see what's he doing over there. A lot of it is making sure you have your game plan set. And that's in a lot of games, like, Magic the Gathering, Hearthstone, those games you really can't. It's all about your card draw. Okay, and what you're doing with those cards too. Do you want to save this card and maybe take a few damage? Or do you want to put this card out and take no damage, but you need it for the next turn because you're going to draw something big probably?
You know what?
Just go ahead.
I don't play Magic. I've never played Magic. I don't have that kind of money. But I mean, I've played Hearthstone and other tabletop games, and I feel like I would enjoy watching that more because, it is a little bit RNG. It's card draw and trying to figure out exactly what you want to do with that based off of what you have available, what the other person has showing. But at the same time, you have to know your deck inside and out. You have to.
Right.
Everything does come down to a skill point there, where you might have the lesser cards, but you know how to play them better.
Yeah. Well,
And that's pretty damn cool to me.
Mm-hmm. And
that's just my saying.
Well, in that kind of gaming scene, if you're playing Magic or you're playing Hearthstone, excuse me, you're gonna know your cards because you're some of the best in the world. Okay, my wife. Okay, and props to her for as little as she plays. She still knows every deck in her card. Now that game is not for everybody. You have to have a good memory. You have to have strategy skills. You have to, just because I can't play it because my memory's shit. That's just me. But when I watch her play it, she knows exactly what to do. She knows, hey, I'm gonna save this turn because then I can use this. I can use 4 cards next time and just basically do a shit ton of damage to him. Every time she goes hee hee and all of a sudden just blows him up. Like, what happened? Did you die? No, I had 1 hit point left and I did 30 damage to him or some shit like that.
Yeah, but
just because she's saving it up, she knows what she's got in her deck left.
Yeah, and anybody who plays the fucking tabletop games like that competitively, I give you much props because the amount of thought and fucking strategy and theory crafting and practice that has to go into every deck you make is astronomical. It truly is, and you know what? Anybody who's into that, props to you.
Definitely.
That's.
Yeah, viewer hype is awesome. Guys, if you do want to join in on this call, go ahead and join in. The TeamSpeak info, just put it in chat. If you guys do want to, we would love to hear your opinions. This is a roundtable discussion show. So whatever you guys want to do, whatever you guys want to talk about, we do have stuff we're going to talk about this week. But if you want to join us, come on and join us. and we'll have I'm going to start a forum actually on geekyantics.net probably tomorrow or maybe even tonight on topics. So topics. But that being said, guys, we're gonna get into the feature because we're already talking about the competitive gaming thing. We're gonna go through the games. We've already gone through StarCraft, so it's not something that we're going to
Speak on.
need to speak on. So
Um,
well, I'll say one thing about StarCraft. The one thing that appeals me the most, and we'll say it, the one thing that appeals you or turns you off, just one thing. So it's only a couple minutes. The one thing that appeals me the most to StarCraft is the strategy of what you can do at what time, because there's certain things you can't build at a certain time.
yeah.
You know,
And,
I
you know
think
that
the least fun part of StarCraft is watching people that just do Zerg rushes. Like that's not fun. The most fun is when people build up the resources and then they have massive like epic battles. That's more fun to me.
no, and what is also pretty cool about StarCraft is, like you said, you need to build certain things in order to get other things, and it's
Mhm.
pretty cool that somebody can start with one thing and then send a drone out, check out what's going on, and then adjust accordingly, even though they've already, set up their bases, and because you can't delay too long to see what the other person's doing to counteract. You actually have to start doing something, and then as soon as you figure out, you have to be able to go from there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which can be very difficult because you might have, say, you notice somebody's building a lot of aircraft, but you don't have many options to go with the anti-aircraft, and you still find a way to, make something work. So,
Beast.
We're talking about StarCraft gameplay, right?
It's just
yeah.
one thing that appeals you or just drives you fucking bat crazy about it.
The way Protoss players play these days is what appeals to me, honestly. Because Protoss used to be shit. Protoss was the worst. Now
Right.
Protoss is running the game. And they have infinitely more possible strategies than everyone else.
But you must construct additional pylons.
Yeah, and they have pylons.
Okay. Now we're gonna talk a little bit about we kind of hit on about it. We're gonna spend a few minutes on it. League of Legends, guys. Okay. I'm gonna let Yogi go first because he's the super hardcore casual of the group.
That makes sense.
Basically. Yeah. Just you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. League of Legends, guys. The competitive scene of League of Legends, is it getting better or worse for the players that are trying to get to that point? Yogi?
Yogi,
Silence.
his pizza might have
His
just
pizza
got
might
here.
have got there. Okay,
Yeah.
well, Adi, go ahead.
The question is it easier or harder for people trying to make the pro scene?
Yep.
I think it's very difficult to make the pro scene in League of Legends. I mean, like I said, I don't follow it too, uh, and enthusiastically, but
Mm-hmm.
I have noticed year after year it's the same names in there, right? Like you might
Right.
get one or two new people pop up, but it it always seems to be basically the same names over and over again.
Okay.
Which I understand, but I think it more so than skill, I think comes from a markability standpoint, right? Because Riot goes ahead and says, okay, these teams are in. I think they're mostly doing it because they're recognizable names and they know that it's going to bring in a bigger crowd, even if there's people better than them. They might not make the cut because they're not going to make as much money off of them. I think they just bring in a couple new teams every year just to be like, oh, well, we might have an upset from one of these newcomers. That's my opinion.
It does not work like that.
That's what I've seen, man. That's just like I said.
Okay.
I don't follow enthusiastically, and
Okay.
I could be talking out of my ass, but I mean, it always seems to be the same names over and over and over again.
Okay. Beast.
Digress.
I digress. Yes.
League of Legends competitive scene.
Douchebags.
Yes.
I'm reading things. So, okay. The way you get into the competitive scene for a game is not to move up in placement. It's to know the right people. That's it. The ranking system for League of Legends is bullshit. It will not help you progress in any way to being competitive or being paid to play if that's what you're looking for. Sure, getting Challenger might get you a few more Twitch followers, but other than that, without actually knowing a competitive team who's looking to add someone, you're not getting into the competitive scene.
Okay. Yogi, are you back
in
yet?
my opinion, that's the same for every game.
Okay. Yogi, are you back yet?
WoW PvP was not like that, and you know it. But WoW PvP is
Well,
close enough to
PvP is
dead.
getting like that though. It's really getting like that though.
Yeah, I'm just saying, all Swifties aside, PvP, WoW PvP has always been about skill.
Well, yeah.
All Swifty aside. I don't know how that guy gets paid so much money. He is so bad.
Well, yeah. He's doing other
He's-
things. I can actually legitimately side with Swifty. I know what he's trying to accomplish. I know what he's doing. Not not word for word, but I know what he's trying to accomplish and what he's doing. And yes, he has gotten severely worse at his warrior and WoW, but it's that's a whole nother discussion, man.
But seriously, I enjoy Swifty as a person, right? Like, he is a very likable guy. I used to watch his Swifty IRL channel, not his gaming channel so much, because it was almost painful to watch him play a warrior. But I enjoyed him outside of the game. I thought he was a very nice, down to earth guy, funny dude too. But I so bad at warrior, and he's never been good. He was always been mediocre and carried by his team, but he got famous because he's enjoyable.
Right. No. Well, like I said, we'll get into this. We'll actually do a discussion about Twitch streamers that are. I got some couple ideas, but we'll get into Swifty. Not saying that he's a bad guy. I love him to death. I know what he's trying to do. Yes, is his gameplay gone downhill? It has, but it's not something. We'll talk about it in the future.
Hey, he only has 9 fingers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's funny how he lost it too. League of Legends.
Can I just say one more thing about him?
Yeah.
Last thing about Swifty. Best thing I think he ever did in terms of gaming was to get Athene out of retirement. That is all.
Athene, #1 best pally in the world.
Athene!
Yeah.
It's all about the games.
Kind of playing some D3. That's what he's doing. Yeah. I knew it.
I'm still keeping around.
I knew it. He wasn't talking at all, guys. And when Beast doesn't talk, that means he's doing something. What was he doing before we were playing? He was talking about D3, and he was playing Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse. So he's got off Dragon Ball Z, and now he's playing D3 trying to do a new build.
I finally got into
suck.
the PTR.
I need you to get off there, please.
All right.
No, I'm just playing. Don't. You're on the PTR.
Don't.
You did. You dumbass. Did you seriously get off there?
You're right.
Are you serious?
It's a good thing we don't have cameras on right now.
Dude, come on. You gotta seriously know I was fucking with you. Oh my god. No, guys, this is a part of the show. Like, this show, we do that as well. Like, we could be playing something at the time, but no, dude, don't do that. League of Legends.
The PTR. Oh, sorry.
What I want to say about League of Legends. Okay, now, I understand everybody's point. It's boring to watch. I know, for me, up to about 25 to 30 minutes of the game, it's boring as shit. I would love to have a timer when I start a game. I'm going to set up a timer so I can go in the kitchen and maybe make some food or, go play with my dog for a half hour before, because it doesn't get good until then. But the part that I
disagree.
Wait, hear me out. The part that that I miss if I do that is what it took to get there. You know, because I could see maybe an end build. Okay, you say 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 40 minutes. That's when guys are, you know, basically they're pushing to end the game. They all got 4 to 5 pieces. Depends on maybe not the support, but they're pushing it. What I like to see and what I like to watch in these is what it takes to get there. Like some of the crazy builds that Wild Turtle will do. You know, he'll take just he'll stop his build. He'll stop something, and instead of finishing his IE, he'll go and get something, you know, a half of another item and then finish his IE, opposed to getting that surge faster. It's just the things that, you know, it works out for him most of the time. But what I like to see is what, you know, the top laners. We got to say a Kassadin versus a Rumble, which, okay, Kassadin versus Mordecai. Rumble versus Mordecai. Okay? You know what's going to happen. They're not going to do shit to each other. They're going to farm up and nobody can kill anybody. That's what's going to happen.
Is it full AD Mordecai?
I don't know. It's a competitive, whatever they're going to play against.
Kassadin's ganking the shit out of mid and getting fed.
You know, but I'm saying it's something that you're gonna basically you see that matchup, which I've seen it a whole fuck ton of times on pro team on tournaments and whatnot. But that's all I see is top lane goes this and this, and then they just fight for the first 40 minutes, unless they're teams, unless they have a Lee Sin for early ganks or a Jarvan for Jarvan's nerfed now. But, you know, things like that is what I like to see, how they got to that 30, 35 minutes worth.
But see, what I think the beginning of the game, the laning phase in particular, is the most exciting point of the game. All right, seeing how the lanes interact with each other, seeing how they push and on push and try and survive fights, try and win fights, seeing how the junglers interact with both each other's, their environment, and the fucking lanes, and seeing how everybody reacts to everything.
Right.
I think that's the most exciting, because after about 25, 30 minutes, you know who's going to win that game unless somebody massively fucks up.
Right.
You know, that's why at the beginning is the most exciting. You're seeing everybody starting with a fresh plate. See good matchups, you see bad matchups, and you can see complete fucking lanes that shouldn't be won just because they got outplayed that hard, just because the jungler knew exactly when to get there and avoid the wards and this and that. I think that is the best part of the game. Once you leave the laning phase, for the most part, you know what's gonna happen.
Right. Okay, Yogi, what are you thinking about it, man? Competitive scene, League of Legends. Let us know what you think about the whole thing.
It's interesting. The laning phase. It's exciting if you're someone that wants to learn the intricacies, like the slight edge things that make a difference in the end game. And the laning phase definitely impacts the mid game. And the thing is, with something like League of Legends and most MOBAs really, if you can make it through that mid game, suddenly that early advantage isn't as important. And it's possible to do that. The thing is, most players, even the top tier competitive players, tend to give up mid game if they don't have that lead, if they don't have the farm, if they don't have the kill death ratio, whatever. So that is interesting because there's a lot of things in the laning phase that you have to really pay attention to that make a huge impact. But overall, my favorite thing in MOBAs to watch is just when people turn bad situations around. You know, they take a team's overconfidence and use it against them. That's what makes for a fun match to me.
Okay. And to what Yogi just said too, I want to touch on for those players that you see like junglers that are scared to go in their jungle or whatever. They've been killed 3 or 4 times and they're just like, oh my god, I don't want to do it. It looks like they're giving up. They're not giving up. They're just they understand that if one person catches me out in the jungle, I'm screwed. Because I don't have that power spike yet, or I can't control myself because I've died. I'm behind. So that's something, that's something that they look out for. So they're not giving up totally, but they're just, hashtag struggle.
You know
what's demoralizing?
You know what? I don't know if either of these junglers are played anymore because I've played one game like 3 days ago in the past like 5 months, and I always found it interesting to see a Nunu and a Shaco jungling at the same time. Because they're both always trying to be in the other person's jungle, and it's always like, what?
Yeah,
Terrorizing each other.
we'll go.
Yeah.
We'll go do that. Go.
Quad jungle,
Yeah.
biggest swords, and Nunu Shaco Adi.
No,
Is
I
that
was
what's gonna
talking about
happen?
opposite teams. Like
No,
Nunus
it's
and
gonna be on the
Shacos.
same team now.
No, now we have to go make a video about it of you doing Nunu
Me
and
and
Shaco
you,
fucking.
Yi and Trin,
Oh god.
and him and someone else, Shaco and Nunu. We'll be in our jungle. They get the enemy jungle.
Right.
Watch him. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know why more people don't try to do stuff like that, where they just try to completely just take his shit
That's
on the
the
meta.
only way I play.
Where am
the
I gonna
game.
play?
Ask
That's not
Adi.
even cool. I'm gonna play some AP and I'm gonna be squishy as fuck and get ganked 5 million
You know
times.
what? You know what? Just go play Sony. You'll be fine.
What we
You'll
should
play what?
what we
Play
should
Soda.
do. What we should
Crescendo.
do is everybody
Crescendo.
get your jungle champions, and then we're gonna go mid, and we're just gonna push mid all the way up. See what they do.
If I'm playing jungle, I'm playing Lux. Lux jungle is best jungle. I don't care.
Can I Nunu jungle or Lulu jungle?
Dude, you can do whatever your little heart
Oh
desires.
my god.
But there's no better feeling than just fucking counter jungling as Lux from your own jungle.
Oh, you're trying to? Nope, no blue for
Oh,
you.
man.
Mine.
Oh
Well, the same
man.
could be said about like Ezreal or something like that. Though.
I'm gonna make sure I get Zig, so every time you go to a
Yeah,
freaking
but
jungle
fucking
camp or a fucking buff, I'm gonna
Ezreal
take
has
it.
no CC. Lux ganks work so well.
So did
Oh, wow.
Ezreal when you can't get away from him.
Good. Anyway, guys, we're gonna move into the next game. This is a game that I think all of us play, but maybe the most saltiest, minus League. CS:GO.
CS:GO is
Competitive
not
scene.
salty.
It is.
I don't
It's
get
not.
salty.
I
start
was
crying.
getting really salty yesterday
You
on
do
stream.
get salty.
No,
I was
you
getting-
get salty.
You son of a bitch!
You get salty.
I just get
Man.
sad when we start losing.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Joe.
don't jump into TeamSpeak when Obi's playing friggin'
Listen,
CS:GO.
Just because Obi gets salty doesn't mean everybody gets salty. It's actually a very mellow community, if you ask me.
It is. No, it's
As
just
long as you
me.
mute everyone.
Like,
Yeah,
it's not the point that I'm getting mad at anybody. I'm getting mad at myself because I missed a shot, like an easy, when I know I just calm down, fucking aim
How about-
and shoot
how about that
3
game
round
we
bursts and they're
played?
dead.
No,
2 days
you see,
ago.
Here's
When
what
I
Obi
missed
gets
that
upset
ace on
about.
round 1,
That's because you suck.
No,
I
here's-
missed an ace on round. Okay, I'm sorry. I killed 4 people and didn't kill the 5th one. I suck. I'm sorry.
No,
and I did
see-
it by myself when my team was dead. I am so sorry.
No, see, here's what Obi gets upset about. Obi gets upset when we're losing and we're playing Dust 2 and
Dust
have
2,
all-
there you go. You said
No,
it.
time
Dust
out.
2.
time out. We're losing on Dust 2 and they have Alpers mid and I decide to Negev rush them. He thinks that's a bad strategy. I say Negev is best gun in game because it costs most money.
That is the worst strategy in the world.
Dude,
What I did wrong there was he didn't have a Nova.
no, you see, you can't Nova. There's doors in the way, idiot.
You can still Nova.
No, there's doors in the way. Like, I mean, if we were playing,
No, you can still Nova because he did it the last time we played. Because remember
Yeah.
you guys forced me to play fucking Dust 2? Yeah.
time out.
That's
out,
why
you
I
can-
like making
no.
lobbies from now on.
Time out. No, you can Nova if you're going B or if you're going A. You can't Nova rush mid.
Yes, you
Yes, you
can.
can.
He
You
done
just
it.
jump-
He did it the
you
other
just-
day.
You have to jump off cat and shoot through the doors where they got the op. That's it. And just jump because you can shoot one in the air.
No, see, then you're Nova rushing cat to mid. I'm talking about run straight down suicide with Negev.
I can do that too. I just gotta stay to the left and then shoot through the door.
No stay to the left. Straight down the middle. Straight
Tech
down the middle.
9, Tech 9
let
rush
them-
best CT strat. Yeah,
no,
that's a good one.
Let them know you're coming. Let them know. Let them fear the Negev. Dude, fire every bullet on the way. You'll get 7 kills on the way. There's only 5 of them. You'll kill 7 of them.
Kill 2 of your own teammates.
Exactly. They got in the way.
And that's why we both have alternate accounts.
Because they get banned a lot.
Negev.
CSGO competitive scene to me, I watch it all the time. Just because it's my game of choice. So, I mean, and you guys can say, B said it to me the other day, dude, you're getting better. It's because I watch the competitive scene and see what they do, the little things, where they peak, when they peak, kind of things, and kind of mocking some of those, during learning how to aim. I'm still learning how to aim myself, but kind of mocking them and the kind of strategy and movement that they do. I'm getting more kills. I'm dying less. My KDA has gone up. My headshot percentage is almost 29% now, which is good for me. So, I mean, that right there, CSGO Competitive League, is actually, to me, is helping me get better at the game. Me. Best.
I mean, I guess. See, I have the years of experience with it, so what they do is things I naturally do.
Right.
But I can see what you're saying. With that, that's how you learn that stuff. When you don't want to put, a decade into a game.
Definitely.
I got decades to spare, son.
Adi, what about you?
What about me? I've given so much input. What do you mean, what about me?
Yogi?
Underboob or sideboob, Adi?
We're not there yet, nerd.
So CS:GO. Back to what was it? Adi just was talking about, like how the aim is not really that big of a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me.
So
I have something to say about that too when he's done.
like that's the interesting thing, because I agree and I disagree. Like definitely, like in the overall life of a player that's dedicated to CS:GO, that's the smallest thing that you'll be working on, because after you figure it out, you're good, right? And it's like riding a bicycle in theory, but you can get rusty in CS:GO. Because I started to get good in the game, I stopped playing it, and I'm terrible in that game. It's pretty pathetic. Whereas like a Call of Duty or Battlefield, I always go back into it, and it's like I never stop playing it. CS:GO, I think, requires a lot more dedication. Um, but I definitely feel like it's a lot about knowing the spots that people are gonna go and figuring out the maps, and really, I think in FPS games in general, having cohesion with your team is important. So you know what they're likely to do and kind of get a feel for them without having to communicate verbally as much. If you have a friend that tends to do Leroy Jenkins type stuff, you can cover him better, or just run away before he gets you killed.
Right. And BFT, if they gave Counter-Strike a full-on MOBA game mode, it'd be the most competitive game ever. No, that's called Battlefield.
Oh,
But no, time
Just
out.
saying, that's called Battlefield.
Now, if back to the point that Yogi just brought back up, and I said about aim being a minimal part of the game. I'll emphasize a little bit more on why I say that. Like,
Wait, Beast had to say something first.
oh, okay, go ahead.
Well, I was agreeing with both of them. They're 100% right. Aim is the minimal thing you have to learn. It should not be the first. It should be the very last thing you learn. Because your aim is not going to do you any good if you don't have the judgment to be able to know where you're supposed to be and where they're going, and that type of foresight in it. It's a lot of like poker strategy that goes on behind the scenes in CSGO, in Counter-Strike, and FPS of all that type. You have to, like, you hear a guy coming below you, so there's how many exits, how many ways can he get in front of you?
Right.
And then you have to pick right as to which one he's going. You sit there and you watch. You don't have to aim to do that. That's your judgment working. And that goes along with strategy.
And that's
'Cause
when
when you
people
know the
start calling
strategy,
you
you know
camper.
It doesn't matter.
That's when
but-
people call me a wall hacker, because I know
Yeah.
where they're going to be.
And like and in that same aspect, from the opposite end, you have to know, okay, when do I have to start shift walking so they won't hear me coming?
That's a big
once-
part of it right there.
Once I break through this wall, where are they most likely to be? And if you're in a game and you notice that your aim's off a little bit, you can adjust your sensitivity. Just make that quick move. You're like, all right, my aim's off. I'm not getting quite where I need to be. Let me lower my sensitivity, and that way I'll be able to line it up a little bit,
Right.
a little bit easier without overshooting it or undershooting where I'm supposed to be.
And the last thing we'll say about CSGO, because we got to move on because we're starting to run out of time. CSGO for me, yes, aim's a big part of it in the beginning. But after you, like you said, after you learn that, bam, it's gone. But you're learning other things at the same time. The biggest point, and then you guys can say whatever you want to after this, the biggest point to CSGO is people just running everywhere. Dump, dump, chomp, chomp, chomp. What is the biggest thing that I say, guys, in TeamSpeak? You guys fucking running everywhere. They know exactly where you're at. Like when
I
somebody's...
thought it was, can you shut the fuck up, please?
Yeah, well, that's the same thing. OB logic right there. But it's something that it's just like you're gonna, you're going into apartments, okay? And let's just say, what is it? Inferno.
Mirage? Oh, okay.
Inferno. You're going into apartments to go onto the A-bomb site, and you're just chomp, 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 chomp. Well, the guy in pit's like, well, I got some apartments coming, and then as soon as you walk out the door, if there's an op there, boom, you're dead. And if you're stupid enough and you follow right behind somebody, of course, guess what? Collateral damage. 2 ops, 1 shot. You're good.
When it comes down to that, you have to stop walking a lot before you get to apartments. You have to learn the maps.
But that's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. That's the one thing that they need to control the most is knowing when to slow it down, knowing when to crouch or not crouch, but to shift, knowing when to stop. To shut the fuck up.
Now,
There you go.
In the same aspect, though, you can use that against them. Like, you can run the fuck in, right? Let them know that you're there, and then let them, at the same time, hear you run out, and then sneak back in and wait for them to come through and come looking for you, you know?
That's just something playing in the game. Knowing what to do. Do I juke this guy? Yes, I do. Whatever. But
at the same time, you have to know when they can stop and start hearing your footsteps.
Right.
And,
yeah.
I gotta take a tinkle break. I'll be right back.
Okay. The next game that we're gonna move right along, guys. The next game we're talking about is the newest, I believe, the newest competitive game in the competitive scene, which is Smite. Now, the one question, couple of questions. What's up, Pork Chop? How you doing, buddy? Welcome to the show. But the first question I got for you guys, we got 2 questions and then we're done. The first question is Smite gonna make it in the competitive scene? And I'm gonna start with Yogi.
Short answer, hell yeah.
Well, I need someone a little bit longer to answer than that.
Yeah. I got it for you. For a number of reasons. They're the only 3D MOBA that comes to mind, really, for anyone. That's gonna change. I mean, with Overwatch and Organic or whatever, I guess, and there's the other one that's coming to Xbox One. But Smite has paved the way with that. They have a great theme. Who doesn't want to play as a god or goddess? That's pretty epic. Unless you're one of those people that's really sensitive. It's like, oh, that's blasphemous. Like, come on, it's just a game,
Right.
The fictional work. Just enjoy it. And they have a great community. And a big part of that is because it's a great company. And I'm not just saying this because they're based out of Georgia, and they're like not too far from me, but that may be part of it. But they just have great people working for them. They actually care about the community. They acknowledge streamers, the media outlets, the enthusiast press. They're really, really, really focusing on that community aspect, and that's so important. For competitive gaming, whether you're talking about the spectator sports side of it, or maybe some of the more casual competitive side of it, which is actually a thing too, because there's people that want to compete, they want to rank, but they don't want to like make it their lifestyle, and they don't want to be in the top 5% because that's a huge time commitment. But they still want to be able to say, hey, out of this amateur circuit, I'm ranked whatever, or out of this casual ladder, I'm ranked this much, and I think this is one of those games that will appeal to different types of gamers and really open up MOBAs to a wider audience. So it's boomed. It went from being known but not really to being really well known, and I think it's gonna keep being a pervasive force in just gaming in general.
Okay. Beast. What about you?
Smite. Yes, Smite will make it in the competitive scene because it's different enough. It has a much higher skill cap than League of Legends or Dota ever will. Ever will.
And that's from the viewpoint, right?
That's from their mechanic. They don't have any lock-on abilities. They don't have anything like that. It's strictly everything skill-based.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And
Well, and
action's a lot more frantic too. Like
Yeah.
it's very fast paced. It's easy to lose track of what's
And,
going on
yeah,
and get
the
overwhelmed.
strategy isn't set in stone. There's no set meta in Smite, and I don't foresee that there ever will be because of the gameplay of it. I mean, because of its mechanics, I don't see there ever will be a real meta.
right. Adi, what about you?
Smite cool. That's about as far as my opinion goes on Smite.
He stopped playing it in the closed beta.
Right.
Yeah, I played it closed beta, and then it made my computer die every time I played it, so I stopped.
Ooh, ooh. Okay. Well, there's Adi, guys.
Yeah.
But for me, I do think it'll make it just because of like what B said. It's different. He's got the mechanics are different. Yes. I think a lot of people either like it or dislike it because of the view as well. That third person to where you could, and then when you actually need to move your reticle out for like a skill shot or something like that, the camera goes with it, and it's just there's a lot of things that you have to get used to there first before you can actually effectively hit your skill shots. Where's your skill shot actually gonna end? You guys know I play Cuckoo a lot, and I'll throw my alt out there, and they're like, "Why are you doing that?" And then all of a sudden, it kills 3 at the end, the very end of it. Like it's max range. You got to know where your shit ends too. I know, and with the camera stuff, it actually is a little bit harder to do that because it's not. You're not side scrolling, or you're not League of Legends type to where you're, one side versus the other. And I mean, because if you actually had it to where your camera moved, if you were actually on the red side, and your camera moved to like you were actually on the blue, it would be just the same game, just different. I don't know how you would do that. I don't know. Anyway, but Smite is something that I think is gonna go. It's gonna go through. Next one, guys. This is one of the longest esports now. COD, Call of Duty. And I'm gonna let Beast start with this because this was his shit.
It died after Modern Warfare, PC Master Race. Fuck everyone else.
Oh, shots fired.
All right, is that your statement?
Yeah, that's what killed the competitive scene once consoles got involved. Legitimately, that's what killed the competitive scene once consoles got involved.
Well, now the competitive scene is console.
Exactly. That's why I don't pay attention to the scene anymore.
Because you can't. Is it because you can't play on console, or is it just your?
Oh no, I can play
PC
on console,
hardcore?
but it's PC. FPS were developed for the PC.
The Master Race.
That's where they belong. Don't take them away from us.
Okay. Adi?
I'm tired of hearing about how every 12-year-old in the world fucked my mother.
Oh god.
Yet again, consoles ruining everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That be it. Go ahead, Yogi. What do you think?
Yeah, consoles both ruined and improved the FPS scene. Like it pushed it forward in some way, and then just completely threw it down the shithole in other ways. So yeah, I think
I can give you an actual example of when Call of Duty died.
All right,
On the
give
PC.
me a second. Give me a second. Maybe I want my first
right.
impressions of Call of Duty. I hate it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I hate it. I have a VAC ban on my Steam account because somebody basically took my Steam account and did it on a Call of Duty game. I can't stand that fucking game. PC, when I did play it on PC, I played I think Black Ops 2 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And it was kind of cool. Well, PC, of course, you got all the hackers that want to come in and you just can't play it anymore because it's filled with them. Because basically Valve says we're going to stop back banning people because it doesn't matter anymore. Everything's on console. But Call of Duty sucks. I'm sorry. I'll never play a Call of Duty game. Sorry. Peace. Have a great fucking day.
Okay, so first step in the death of Call of Duty.
Okay.
Modern Warfare 2. No dedicated servers. What kept the hackers at bay in Call of Duty 4, 2, we don't talk about 3 because that wasn't a real game,
Right.
and the original, and where it came from, Medal of Honor, was the fact that there were dedicated servers with admins on them constantly. You didn't hack. Second reason Call of Duty died. Modern Warfare 2 was a PC port to console. They did that right at least. Now, what it was Black Ops after that? Yes, the first Black Ops.
I think Black
game?
Ops. There was Black Ops because then I joined back up again at Black Ops 2.
Yeah, so it would have been that. And then, okay, yeah. So Black Ops came next. Black Ops was a console port to PC, and it was such a shitty port that anyone with an above dual core processor literally couldn't play the game for the first 4 months.
Yeah, because they didn't have it set up for that. That was
Because consoles didn't have the same type of processing. And they didn't bother to test it on anything.
okay.
That's where Call of Duty died.
Okay. We got a couple more games here, guys, and then we're going to get into it's almost time to be done. Sorry, but this has been a great show already. The next game is going to be Speedrunners. And there you go. The guy that's going to start the conversation on this. Yogizilla, go ahead, buddy.
I love speedrunners. You get some BM. It's unavoidable, right? As long as you're dealing with humans, you're gonna deal with a good amount of idiots. But overall, this is the way I'd like to see more competitive games. It's really intense. Get some close matches, and but
Lethal
overall,
League.
was that?
Lethal League.
Oh yeah, Lethal League is a good example too.
That is the epitomal example of like a competitive game.
Yeah. So the skill gap in that game can be a lot more obvious than in speedrunners. Sorry, I'm stuffing my face, so my voice is like cracking. I'm all over
That's
the place.
fine. That was me earlier.
I'm like, hi guys. But no, cause Lethal League, there's little subtleties to that game that if you're not aware of, you can't pick up on them. Whereas speedrunners, the more you play, you start observing the way people take shortcuts, cut down on their time in certain areas, right? And it's pretty easy to model after them. But in Lethal League, there's things that if you blink, you'll miss it, right? It's a little different in that aspect. But I like speedrunners. When you do ranked, it's really competitive, even in the entry league. And as you move up to the different leagues, it does get tougher and tougher. But it's one of those games that the more you play it, if you really just pay attention to what's going on, you do get better at it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost always close games. So it makes it fun because you're like, even though you might be on a losing streak, you're like, man, I almost got the first place.
Right.
And I don't like racing games, usually. Like, I play racing games for fun.
Fuck EA.
Oh, damn.
That's all I'm going to say about that shit.
I'm sorry, my keyboard doesn't have the sarcasm mark, so you can get that with sarcasm.
I'm still going to say
man.
it. Beast. Speedrunners.
It's an amazing game. It's an amazing beta game. We got to point out, this is still a beta game.
Yeah.
And it has some of the most fun gameplay in quick little 5-minute installments that I've ever played.
Okay. Adi?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I've never played it. Looks like fun. That's about as far as my opinion goes. Buy
Okay.
it for me. I'll give you more opinion.
Somebody bought it for me, I think. I don't even know where it's at anymore. For me, we'll try to get it to you, Adi. I think we got some more keys somewhere. To me, playing it, I tried to do it on keyboard and mouse. You can't do that. You have a controller. So I actually went and got a controller. My tech guy, he goes, here's an old Xbox controller. So we used it, and it works fairly good. But I watched a lot of the streams too of people doing it, and to have playing it solo is one thing, because I've seen Yogi play it solo, and I've seen it playing it with a bunch of friends. Playing it solo is kind of fun if you want to get to try to beat other people. Just get on the what is it, the list? What list am I thinking about? Like the competitive list for solo players. But I think Speedrunners is a game, and it's a really good game. I think Speedrunners is a game for like friends. just to go fuck around on, unless you have that competitive spirit, like to play it competitively, like you want to go hardcore. Yeah, I think that's.
It's the kind of game that even when you're losing badly, you're still having fun.
Yeah, because you're trying to catch up. What can I do to catch up? I gotta do, throw your or your I want to say your rope, but throw it at the exact same time, at the exact right time to make sure you can kind of swing and maybe get in front of the guy. But you got to watch where you're gonna swing into, because you might swing onto some freaking spikes or some shit. The death spikes in that one level you were playing.
The one lonely spike that catches everyone on that one map is great. It's like, who would put a spike there? Seriously?
Yeah.
And see, the thing about it too is, it's a game that lends itself to less toxic gameplay because it's a fully engaging game. Even when you're not playing, you're having fun watching it, and you know your turn is going to come back soon because each round is very fast. Whereas CSGO, if you think about it, if you just really dissect it, CSGO is a terrible game if you really suck at it, because you're just spending most of your time watching other people play. Like, well,
Yeah.
I might as well just watch the stream for this.
Yeah, right? The next game that we have, and I know there's a few people, especially in chat, that knows about this fairly well, but Dota 2. I'm going to start just because I don't know shit about the game, nor do I want to ever play the game, because I had one bad experience. And, yeah. So, Yogi, go ahead, buddy.
Dota 2 is the shizzle. And, I mean, I know why Dota 2 isn't as popular as League of Legends. When you play that game, there's a lot of shit going on, right? The presentation that they use for it, the graphic style, something about it
is shitty.
That's shitty. It's really noisy. There's a lot of stuff on the screen, and in that game you can literally pave your own paths. Like, oh, there's trees in the way, I'll just eat a tree, and those little shortcuts you can make change the dynamic of it completely.
Yeah.
The graphics are not bad. They're just different, And now League of Legends, they've cleaned up their graphics a lot with that like cell shaded style, which makes the graphics pop out a lot more. That was a smart move for them.
And they got their new map too.
That's a hurdle for most people when they go into Dota 2. But as far as the mechanics go, me personally, I like everything outside of the creep farming, like the denying aspect. I think that's the most boring thing possible. It's great if you have ADD and you need to constantly be doing something. It's like as if dodging someone's attacks, harassing and last hitting creeps isn't enough. They decided, oh well, I'll give you something else to do. You could deny their last hits by getting the last hits on your own creeps. And I'm like, that part, I could take it or leave it. It was like that for original Dota 2, Dota All Stars, all those games they've come out.
And BFT 9000 said Dota has many things to think about. Do I rush? Do I deny? Do I bottle? Roshan, carrier routes. There's so much going on, and I guess that's why it kind of turned me off a little bit, because I didn't get the proper. I didn't get the like they didn't have like the when I first tried it, they didn't have the well, they had it. It was like really, really shitty, like how they explained how to play the game and what to do. The one thing that I didn't know how to do the most was like I would go back every time I needed gear. Well, I didn't have to do that. I could have had somebody carry it out to me. I didn't know that. People didn't tell me that. The bad things that happen that just
and people could kill your courier and steal your crap.
I know, and that's the one thing that I was like, where's my guy at? I don't have my gear yet. Well, he just got killed. Where?
Yeah.
Whatever. Beast, what do you think about this godforsaken game?
I played half a match of it and wished it was the original.
Damn.
Yeah, I do have to say that. Like, if it would be easy to play the original, like get a game going on now without having to wait or just go to like play with Koreans that are super hardcore, I would still play the original, because Dota 2 they
open BattleNet. It exists and it's got a retardedly large following.
Yeah, but you get a lot of like funny people on there though. That's the thing. I mean, I love Warcraft 3 period, but I do feel like Dota 2, like they had an easy job. It's like take what's already great and just polish it a little bit. But then they did some things to like make it a little more, like overcomplicated. You know,
Right.
don't ruin the perfect
It
thing.
felt slower than Warcraft 3, and I don't know how that's possible. Warcraft 3 is on an engine from like 85 years ago.
Yeah, that actually is true. Like it's it feels sluggish the way the characters respond.
Yeah,
I definitely agree with that.
that's true.
Well, there's a lot more animations I gotta go through and all that stuff. They tried to upgrade it, update it,
Yeah.
but you don't update a game that so many people have nostalgia for,
Yeah.
and then do it like that. Like I was talking about in chat earlier, Valkyrie Chronicles, an old RPG. Was it the
Ooh.
Nintendo or the PlayStation that came out on?
Yeah, then
Just
it came out
came-
on the PSP.
Just came out on the PC, like a new one just recently, a reboot of it, and it's an amazing, just reboot. Not even a reboot, just an upgrade. It's not a sequel or anything. It's just an upgrade, updated graphics, all that stuff, and they did it amazingly.
Yeah, you got to preserve that essence. You know, tweak it, but make sure you keep that core intact. But I mean, in spite of its opportunities, I still like Dota 2 just because.
Was I supposed to talk about the competitive scene for it? The competitive scene for Dota should kill the League of Legends competitive scene because Dota has much more that you have to do.
Yeah.
And if people were smart, they'd realize that every single Dota player, even the shade Dota players, are more skilled than the best League of Legends player. And
It's
that's
true.
coming from someone who used to play with Hotshot. And Hotshot's a massive dickhead, and I'll call him out right here. Come get me, bitch. You know where I live.
Yeah, there's like lots of stuff involved in learning Dota 2, but you can still jump into it. Like it's like easy to pick up, but hard to master. That's what I would say.
In the same aspect of that, the easy to get into thing, the community is much, much better than League of Legends. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you go in there and you say that you're learning the game, you're not going to get a hard time. People are
Yep.
going to be understanding of that. They're
And
really, I've played Dota a little bit. I'm not huge on it because, frankly, I don't, like you said, easy to get into, hard to master. I don't have the time to play that game and, get good. But I mean, I've never had a bad experience with a Dota player ever.
Yeah, it's very rare. You're always gonna run into the bad apples, but they're definitely more welcoming and helpful than
Oh,
League
yeah.
of Legends. But again, that's kind of the price you pay when something becomes mainstream. Like Dota 2 is one of the most played games online, but it's still not as mainstream as League of Legends. And there's still people you'll bump into say, "Hey, have you heard of Dota 2?" They're like, "Oh, is that the game I have installed on Steam that I never even launched?" You know.
Yeah.
And I guarantee there's tons of people you'll run into like that have it in there and they never buy with it. It's like, what's this? Whatever. Meh.
Yeah,
League of Legends.
I rag on Dota 2 players all the time just because it's fun to rag on them because they get very defensive about their game. But I have to admit, it's a very well made game. The mechanics are very well put together. I mean, it's a quality game. It just it doesn't have the as much of a fan base, and I'm not entirely sure why.
BFT, Han died when they decided to put a price tag on it at launch.
Han that's a whole different beast. Heroes of New Earth. They actually abandoning that game and making a new one and rebooting the entire game or something. I don't know how that works. That game, you knew there was gonna be problems when they introduced built-in voice chat. They were asking for trouble.
all right. Right, definitely. These last two guys that we have, it's not necessarily the competitive part of it, but just the game in general. If you've played it, we can talk about the competitive side of them, but the first one is, and we only got a couple more guys. We got about 8 minutes left in the show. Magic the Gathering. Did we already hit on him?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Here's
We
an interesting
tickled
fact. Do you
them.
know that most of the players in the professional poker circuit are former Magic the Gathering players?
Yes.
Interesting fact.
Well, not most
You
of
gotta
them,
be
but
good
some
at
of them.
counting.
Or
A good bit of them.
You know why that is? Because in Magic the Gathering, you have to like keep counters in your head because there's so much shit going on. It's like, yeah, that one has 6 counters in it. That one has 10 counters in it. Unless you're smart and you have something to lay down on the card so you know how many counters it has on it. But there's so much going on in Magic, and the field could get overloaded. There's no field limit. It can get ridiculous very quickly.
And you're trying to play the opponent as much as you were trying to get the right cards and beat his cards. You're trying to play him and make him make a mistake.
Yep. Yeah, so that makes sense. It's a similar skill set, like heightened awareness, and then planning several steps ahead, and then in your mind you're crunching numbers like, what's the likeliness that I'll top deck this card that I need right now to get out of the situation? Like, what else can help me out here?
Gotta believe in the heart
Just
of the
play
cards.
blue. Scry for days.
Gotta believe in the heart of the cards.
Scry for days.
Scry's so dirty.
Blue-green. Scry for days. Infinite mana elves.
Freaking free mulligan whenever you want it. Good mechanic though. It's really smart. More games need to kind of have something like that.
What are these top 7 cards? Let me look at them. Oh, I have another hand that lets me draw 7 cards. I'm gonna draw these cards.
I know.
Scry 7? What? Okay.
DFT, I know. That was the wrong game. I'm talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! And they're not getting it. So it's okay.
No, we got it. We just, didn't laugh. You forgot the humor.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, whatever. Guys, this is the part of the show where we have to start saying get ready, goodbye. We do apologize. We do want to keep talking.
So long and good night.
Okay, wow. The next show is going to be, first off, it will be the 29th of this month, so there's going to be 3 shows in March. So the 29th is going to be, we're going to be talking about some War Thunder and what's good in planes, what's good in tanks. Having a couple more people on the show, I believe Tater, DDS Tater, and AM Sacrifice is going to be on the show with us, talking about some League of Legends, not League of Legends, blah, 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 War Thunder. And then we're going to do some, there is a beta out right now for Diablo, not beta. There's a public PTR for Diablo 3. Beast's going to have some fun facts and some good knowledge for you guys then. And then I believe Beast and Adi are both playing Dragon Ball X Noverse, so we're gonna be talking a little bit about that next week as well. And
Saiyans make things go boom.
Yes, all the time. But we do want to let you guys know that here on the Geeky Antics Network, which we are in collaboration now with somebody new, the United Broadcasting Network, and of course All Games Radio Network, with the network anyway, blah 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 network. We have tons of shows that we cover all over the place. So instead of saying them all, I'm just going to let you guys know. Go to geekyantics.net/schedule. Now, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Thursday and Friday are our biggest podcasting and streaming days for now. If you guys do want to start something like that, or even just join geekyantics.net, go register. Go see what it's all like. If you guys comment, we got features such as you guys can rack up your points. We have a super mega awesome giveaway. Hashtag mega awesome giveaway. Go check that out. And you guys want to win. We're giving it all away, guys. So go check that out right now. If you guys want to do, like I said, be on a podcast or want to suggest something that even we can just talk about, I'm going to start a forum on there tomorrow. I just got to do it. And we're going to, you guys give us suggestions on what you want this show to talk about. Like I said, we're going to be moving to the round table discussion like we did tonight. I had lots of fun. I know these guys did too. But if you guys want to get a hold of us, please, you guys can write Obi1x2 at geekyantics.net, Yogizilla at geekyantics.net, and I believe there's a bunch more. But you guys can mail at geekyantics.net, or you guys can leave us a voicemail. We will get those. The voicemail number is 206-415-4987. Again, 206-415-4987. Guys, it is a U.S.-based number, so if you are in Britain, Germany, whatever, Europe, you guys are it's gonna take it. But the best thing to do there is just get on the live show and get on TeamSpeak and let us know what you think. So that is it for us, guys. Guys, don't forget to add Beastmans and Adi on Steam community. The Beastmans just like you see on the overlay, and Adi is bad is his Steam community ID. So check those guys out
in real life.
And me too, guys. Obi1x2, and I think Yogizilla has one as well there. But forever from us at the Sunday Dose. Yeah, Yogi does have one. What am I thinking? For us at the Sunday Dose, everybody in chat, we love you very much. Lord Rakdos, Beard and Hat, BFT 9000. I'm just gonna pull up the list. Of course, Pork Chops is in there lurking. Spathyzilla in the house. Thank you guys very much for watching the show, even though we don't have cams. We're kind of doing something new, but we really appreciate it, guys.
And is that a new viewer that I see in there?
I think so.
Aswaz11?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not
They've been in
familiar
here the whole
with them.
time.
Welcome.
What's that?
Beastman's,
Welcome.
your last
Oh yeah.
dying words?
I did it all for the nookie.
The Nookie?
The nookie.
Adi man?
I love you. Good night.
Yogi?
Show me your genitals. Your genitals. Show me your genitals. Genitalia!
Add me on Skype, yo.
See you guys next week.
Wait, is Adi showing his little dick?
Little. I'll have you know 3 inches is funny.
More than 3 inches. Love you.
Okay. Okay, bye. I love you.
Okay, bye-bye, I love you. I love you, let's take a bye-bye.
I love you. See you guys.
Wabbit season.
Duck season.
Wabbit season.
Duck season.
Duck season. Oh my god.
Duck season.
Wabbit
Duck season.
season. All right.